Around September of last year, I started playing a game called Golf Story, which I was sort of hesitant to play at first, but I was drawn in by the promise of a great story. For most of my teenage years, though, you could not get me to sit down and play any type of sports game. I don't know whether it was the fact that they'd come out with a new $60 title that really didn't change any of the gameplay every year, or maybe it was just that, like, all the popular kids at my school, those were the types of games that they would play. Whatever it was, I don't know, you could just not get me to go anywhere near, rent, buy, or just look at a sports game of any type. But playing Golf Story, I was really hooked the entire game, and I finished it to completion, and it really brought back my memories of those early Mario Golf games and the other Mario sports games that I first played in the early 2000s. Unlike most other sports games that I just literally could not stand, I remember putting hours and hours into a few of those Mario sports games that I owned on my Game Boy and GameCube. I've really been trying to pinpoint what exactly makes Golf Story and those Mario sports titles that much more intriguing to me than pretty much every other sports game in existence, and I think that I've figured out that it's some sort of mix between minor RPG elements and a focus on strong, memorable characters. I think that in more recent Mario sports titles, they've shifted that focus to making a more realistic style sports game, but it's starting to look like Mario Tennis Aces could be making a stark return to the things that made those early Mario sports games so unique and great. This week on the official Nintendo Treehouse Tumblr, Roxanne K of Treehouse began a series of posts highlighting each type of character class in Mario Tennis Aces. These are pretty much the same as they were in Ultra Smash, and most of the characters actually retain their previous classifications, with a few exceptions such as Toadette and Bowser Jr. being taken out of the tricky typing, and Rosalina being moved from the power to a tricky typing, probably to make room for more power characters such as Chain Chomp. Before those Tumblr posts were even published though, another big piece of Aces news hit when the Nintendo UK YouTube account posted a new Nintendo Switch trailer that accidentally showed off the entire character selection screen in Mario Tennis Aces, essentially revealing the entire roster. We knew about most of this roster, with the exception of one new character previously unannounced, who is a spike creature from other Mario games. As soon as this news was reported, the trailer was immediately taken down, and there still hasn't been any official announcement for Spike being a playable character. I began to question this leak even more when this week's Treehouse logs, or those Tumblr posts that I mentioned earlier, began to come out. If Spike was in Mario Tennis Aces, judging off of previously playable characters around the same size and shape as him, it'd be easy to assume that Spike is either going to be a power or a defensive character. However, Roxanne confirmed that the 4 power characters in Mario Tennis Aces will be Wario, Bowser, Donkey Kong, and Chain Chomp, while the 2 defensive characters will be Waluigi and Bowser Jr. Roxanne has yet to cover the tricky and speedy character classes, but it seems very unlikely to me that Spike would be in either of those categories. Spike, to me, honestly doesn't feel like a huge announcement, and if it was, why wouldn't they just reveal it in that big spot that they got in the March Direct? I think that if Spike is actually in this game, he'll be an unlockable character and maybe won't be officially revealed until this game is released. If not, I could also picture Spike as the first DLC character, which brings me to my next point. This game is no doubt going to have a few more than 16 characters. In the March Direct, it was mentioned that Nintendo would be holding official online tournaments, and that from these tournaments you could unlock special characters and outfits. Judging from this, and Nintendo's recent trend of providing loads of free post-release content in all of their Switch games, particularly the competitive ones, I could picture there being at least 4 more characters released post-launch. Maybe the first will be Spike, and the only other character that we know might be coming is Koopa Troopa. This is because his silhouette is shown in the Unlockable Characters teaser, but I was digging through this a little bit, and I'd come to the conclusion that this character might not be Koopa Troopa, he could be Dry Bones. The outlines of both of these guys look super similar, and it was shown in a trailer that Dry Bones would be one of the main villains in the story mode. Perhaps it'll be something like Max Brass from ARMS, where he's a non-playable character on launch, then released as a playable character shortly after. Past that silhouette, it's tough to call what other playable characters could be released, but maybe I'll make a video about that when we have more general information. There's also this big mystery of unlockable character outfits. We haven't been shown any official alternate outfits, but if there'll be unlockable ones from tournaments, I'm sure there's going to be at least a few unlockable in the base game itself. Perhaps we'll get all those traditional outfits from Ultra Smash to switch out for the fancy tennis garb that the roster now dons, or we were shown a video recently of an announcer Toad wearing a very sharp looking suit, and I'm really hoping that this is somehow an unlockable outfit for Toad. I think my biggest hope for these outfits are amiibo linked ones. Imagine tapping the wedding suit Mario amiibo to unlock that outfit in the game, or Peach or Bowser, they're all sweet. Although in reality, they'll probably just end up doing some sort of training mode like they did in Ultra Smash. But either way, I'm super excited as an amiibo collector, as new Nintendo IPs usually means I get to use my amiibos for something at least sort of cool. From what I can tell so far, this whole energy gauge and racket breaking system with the cool looking customizable characters, the full-fledged story mode, the online tournaments, just everything that we've heard about this game sounds like it's really going to come together to become the pinnacle of Mario sports games. Recent similar titles have sort of muddied the name of this niche that Nintendo dug out for themselves so many years ago, but it looks like Mario Tennis Aces could make a great return to what made this series so memorable in the first place. Let me know your thoughts on the game down in the comments, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel for the latest Switch content available. This is Max from Max Culture, and thank you so much for watching.